Before we jump into the new space, I thought it would be nice to show a little time lapse of me starting to tear down the old space before we get into the new one. So this is me just tearing down these desks and just starting to move a few of the things. This old space was great, but I am so excited for the new space and all of the new possibilities and potentials that we're going to be able to have in the new space. All right, so we are moving into the new place, and this is going to be the new Lego room. So this is the state of it right now. Lots of stuff on the floor, no desks up. Desks are over there still. But we have this shelf of bins, might put another one there, not sure. And then of course we'll have some shelves on either side of this, kind of similar to how it was at the last place. And then probably put something over there as well. And then here we do have this one kind of display shelf that I had at the last place. So we're gonna keep utilizing that for that. And then on the floor, this is like all of my lighting stuff, light box. This is the light box. And these are some of my studio lights that I have been using. So, yeah, so this is the whole setup. I went ahead and kind of got these drawers set up back there. And we're just going to keep kind of setting this up bit by bit. And I'm going to have to play with it and see exactly what works and how I want it to be, but for now this is looking really good, and I'm very excited to get it all set up and get going in here. But yeah, for now we just have these towers of all of my small parts bins, and you can see how I transported Barrett Dur in many different pieces, and I definitely saw some chunks falling off of the top of this, some black spikes and stuff, so that'll be fun to put back together. But yeah, you can see some of the stuff that I put down there, like the gifts with purchases, and yeah, so it'll take a second to start getting this all in its place. Here is the current state of the basement. I have gotten things figured out a little bit more where they're gonna be. Now I just have to actually kind of organize it all. But let's look at it real quick. So I'm gonna have my two desks straight here in a row, whereas before I had them in an L shape. And then I have my like shelves or drawers, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Small drawers back here, and I have longer boards here that I can now get more of these and fill them next to them here. These weights are just kind of holding these boards down because they were a little bit warped. So hopefully that will straighten them out a little bit. And then over here is where I'm gonna have all of those parts bins on these walls. Eventually you might get some better shelving because I really don't like these. These are really old, and they're even two different colors. I don't know how well you can see that on video, but this one's tan, this one's white. So it would be nice to just get something that looks a little bit better, but still works well for those parts bins. But that is for the future. For now, I'm just trying to figure out the general layout. And then below here, I have a bunch of drawers of different things. And then back there, that is going to be a display shelf. And then those are just more bulk general storage on these shelves, which are going to be revamped again too. Some of them will be emptied, like when I put Barrett Dur back together. And then over here, I have a old PC that I'm going to set up, and that's just where I'm going to be able to do some of my studio 3D modeling stuff. So that is what that is for. And yeah, this is feeling pretty good. I have two seats here, so my wife, she can be down here at the same time as me. That will be a little bit more convenient than it was in our last place. So that's what it's looking like so far. I'm just going to keep kind of loading some of these things up, and my cat is trying to explore and get into places that she should not be. All right, I'm going to keep working with all this. So I got the PCs all set up over here in the corner. I got the lights put up. And then I went ahead and kind of put all these parts bins probably generally where I'm going to have them. They might adjust a little bit here and there. But the top, I think, is just going to be a space where I can display a few small things. But I do have to be aware that there is a window here, and light is going to color some pieces. So I don't want anything that's too bright white or light gray or anything near that. But in general, this will be a space where I can display some things kind of like that poster and any other MOCs or sets that are worth displaying. And then this is now all empty, so I can go ahead and start actually putting stuff up on that I want to display. So taking a break from setting up the new studio, I got this bin of used pieces off of the internet, and it was kind of a gamble because there weren't many pictures. I couldn't really see what was in it, and there was a lot of other non-Lego junk in there, and I've already kind of started pulling some of that out. But I went ahead and pulled out the minifigures that I could find, and there's actually quite a bit. A lot of Star Wars minifigures, all sorts of just different, you know, Ki-Adi-Mundi here. There's like a Spider-Man. There's a Tusken Raider. There's a Rey. Lots of, where is it? Like these red guards, I think from the sequel movies. I'm not really sure. I'm not as familiar with those. But there's so many minifigures, and they're mostly Star Wars. There's a few Ninjago things, and then this I thought was interesting. Looked kind of cool, and it is Lego, so that was pretty cool. Then, looking further, there's this chunk of this mostly or partially built, I believe, a Ninjago set, and just like weird pieces. Like this is dual molded. I've never seen this, and it is Lego. Yeah, just stuff I've never seen before. And then I found that there's actually still some unopened bags from this set. And there's even a minifigure in here that was never opened. So that is pretty cool. And this is the wings right there, the cloth wings still in the boxes. So that is really cool, just to find like a set that someone never finished putting together. Anyway, I'm gonna wash this because it is really gross, and sort through it and just see what all there is in here. So here are all of the minifigures that came in the set, apart from the ones that are still sealed in these bags, which I think is just 1 or 2 minifigures. But it's mostly Star Wars, a few Ninjago, and there's like 2 Marvel figures. I think those are the only ones. And then just a few odds and ends, like city ones and space ones up here. But some Jedi, a bunch of these sequel troopers that I honestly don't really know what they are, what they're from. And then these guys, I just need the heads, which I think are in the bulk pieces. I think it's just a plain red head. But then those guys are complete. I'm guessing they all came in the same set. But there's 2 different helmets styles there. Yeah, just more Jedi, Grogu, all sorts of stuff. So kind of fun, just like going through and seeing what there is. Oh, and of course, some Minecraft stuff there with a fox and whatever. So not really sure that there's anything of too much value here. This was kind of fun also, having the 20-year anniversary Han Solo. But yeah, just kind of fun seeing what is in there. And one of the coolest things actually is this light brick that still works. So that's really cool. I'm gonna make sure to not wash that. All right, but that's gonna do it for this video. I'm just gonna keep going with getting this whole space set up. It's really fun to just kind of think about the future and wonder what all is gonna happen here in this Lego room moving forward. So that's just fun to think about. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and don't take it for granted, all of your support and all of you watching. If you aren't already subscribed, doing that just means a lot and goes a long way, that and liking the video, to supporting the channel. So thank you for doing that. I'll catch you in the next one.